Welcome back to another revolutionary thought. I don't have a drink with me today, which is usually unusual, but I guess we'll have to just go on without it. We're going to be peering into the news today. A couple of the headlines that kind of shocked my mind a little bit, just more or less about Hillary Clinton, Jeb Bush, Rubio, and a couple of the other things. So I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of these things here to you, put them up on the screen here in just a moment. And you're going to listen to my voice as basically I go through each one of these and rip them apart because really, again, it just doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at these things here, and we'll give a look-see here. Okay, we're going to start off first with Hillary Clinton. In light of Clinton's foundation accepting foreign donations from countries that have deplorable women's rights records, the question of the day is, should women vote for Hillary Clinton? Well, the answer to that question is no. The only difference between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama is that Hillary Clinton has a vagina and Barack Obama doesn't. That's basically it. Plain and simple. She's part of the establishment just like anybody else. And finally, somebody needs to come to say the truth, really what it is. Like I said before, in a previous episode, if you look at some of the things that are going on in England and their democracy and the way that their whole country is kind of falling apart just like ours is, well, you need to listen a little bit more closely to what's going on here in the United States because it's the same old crap over and over again. So we'll go back to Hillary Clinton in just a moment. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and click over to the next thing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We have one more thing I had to talk about with Hillary. Let's see here. Hillary is embarrassing moment. This supercut of Hillary shows just how sincere and authentic she is or not. Is she listening to the people at all? Well, let's say no. The answer is no. And the haircut thing is all designed to try to give you something to look at. We're worried about her goddamn haircut. Who gives a shit what her haircut looks like? I don't care what her haircut looks like. And I don't think majority of the people out there give a crap what her haircut looks like because really, we're not voting on her hairstyle, are we? And if we are, then this becomes a big, huge drama, just like everything else that we do in Hollywood, you know, with all of the superhero movies that we got out there right now. And everything else is all a bunch of baloney to distract everybody. Well, her haircut is not going to really win the election. And be honest with you, she doesn't really have anything else to say that's any changed from the establishment cause. So, there's a no there as well. All right, let's look at the next one here. Jeb Bush knocks Hillary Clinton over Asia trade talks stance. Washington Republican Jeb Bush on Wednesday bashed Democratic 2016 presidential candidate or contender Hillary Clinton for voicing reservations about overseas trade talks. A rare issue on the White House enjoys support from Republicans, with many Democrats opposed. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. Asia trade talk stance, all this other kind of stuff. It doesn't really matter. When Bush gets in there, he ain't going to be doing anything else. He won't be able to do anything different than what's already going on because the government really doesn't have any control anymore. He can talk all day long, specifically about foreign trade or international law or anything like that. It just doesn't matter. Whoever is running the businesses behind that, or whoever chances to gain from those business talks are the people you should look at. This guy here has absolutely no control over anything that's going on, whether he gets elected or not. And neither does Hillary. So let's go to the next one here. Let's see here. We got Marco Rubio. He's reaching out to gay Republicans. Marco Rubio, the youthful Republican presidential hopeful, would tout himself as the candidate of his party's future, as making moves to court a socially liberal faction of his party that represents gay conservatives. Wow. I don't know what to say. We have a Latino. He's reaching out to you gay Latinos out there and gay conservative Republicans. That's going to change a lot in this country. It's not really an issue. Okay? It's not really an issue. Whether you're gay, straight, black, white, it doesn't matter. We all got to get together. It doesn't really matter. This guy here is going to be able to change anything either. He hasn't been able to change anything in Florida because I live in Florida, and he's one of the representatives of this state. He doesn't really have anything to add. Okay? He's part of the establishment as well. He's been living in Washington comfortably for about 4 years plus now, and nothing's really changing. Okay. We're going to get to some Florida business here in just a minute. Okay, the new former CEO, I remember her name is Carly Fiorina, will launch her campaign for the U.S. Republican presidential nomination on May 4th. The Wall Street Journal reported on Wednesday. And for anybody who doesn't know who Carly is, she is part of the establishment as well. She worked for Fox Business News. She was I guess, a correspondent there for a little while. So she's all in bed with the Rupert Murdochs of America, and she's just part of the same old thing. If you look into her history, she's worth about 30, I think, what is it, 30 billion to 120 million, I'm sorry, 30 to 120 million dollars. She has no connection to the people out at the bottom, the 1% that we've been talking about for such a long time. She is part of that establishment, and she has absolutely no way going to be able to represent you in Washington as an outsider at all. She's just part of the establishment just as well. And the fact that Fox News picked her up usually is a good indicator, especially Fox News Business. It's a good indicator that she's just going to go rolling along with the rest of the people that are already behind the scenes doing what they do best, and that's called wrecking your country and wrecking other people's countries at the same time. Okay, let's go on to the next one here. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Florida's passing bill to 24-hour waiting period for abortions. Well, that's great. So you can't kill your baby today, but maybe tomorrow. But if you want to kill it with a gun, you got to wait 3 days. That's Florida speaking. It's Florida law, you got to hold. It's ridiculous. This is just another one of them things that just, abortions, I'm sorry, abortions is one of those issues that whether you believe it or not, or where life begins, where life begins, we can talk about that on another subject. I just started to throw it out there. 24-hour waiting period now on abortions. Wow, that's just a waste of time, personally. Okay, next thing. We're going to look at Romney. Okay, Romney. People are having a hard time trusting Hillary Clinton. I don't even really know what to say about that. Hillary Clinton's the only person on the Democratic ticket as far as I know, and they're pushing real hard for her. People have a hard time trusting Hillary Clinton. Well, I don't know. Probably because of Benghazi, the deleted emails, and all of the people that got killed over there. We shouldn't have been over there in the first place. And a foreign diplomat was telling us, hey, we need to get the hell out of here because they're going to kill us. And guess what? They did exactly that. So Hillary Clinton doesn't know how to manage anything as Secretary of State. That's why she got the hell out of there. That administration is not doing real well. You remember, she was part of the Obama administration. And like I said before at the top of the thing, there's not really much difference between Obama and Hillary. I don't care what anybody says. All she is a female. So moving on to the next thing and last thing. The United States Republicans move to extend spy power to collect phone data. Oh, the Republicans are at it again. They're so great, those Republicans. They just want to keep spying more, taking more liberties away from the American people. And it's all for your safety. It's all for your safety and for security, because we don't want the bad guys talking on phones in the United States. It's absolutely repulsive. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. They're taking away your liberties, and the Republicans are extending spy powers. Fuck off, Republicans. That's all I got to say about that. Sorry with my language, but I'm just getting tired of all this. To wrap this kind of whole thing up, and I know I bloviate quite a bit, but if we're looking at this stuff from a standpoint or a mentality, standing outside the box and looking at things from a perspective of whether or not this makes a difference or that makes a difference, most of the time you as Americans really don't know what the hell these guys are doing, because the government really doesn't have any control anymore. Parties really don't matter. It's an absolute facade. It's bullshit. From the highest levels of BS that you possibly can get. If there was a BS God and he was here in the United States, he would be blessing these people with all of the BS that they throw on the American people every single day. It's time for people to wake up. And if you haven't woke up yet, it's time that you start looking into these issues and getting yourself aware of it. People are dying around the country. People are dying from poverty. People don't have housing. There's a housing crisis in New York City where Hillary Clinton, the good governor there, was from. I mean, it's an absolute freaking mess, okay? And that's just one city, all right? We got all these problems. The government really has no control. If there's any major disaster around the United States, just look what happened in Louisiana. The government couldn't even get people in there. We have absolutely no abilities because, you know what? It's bad. It's good for business and it's bad for government. But guess what? At the same time, the government is the one who takes the hits for all of the bad stuff that happens. Yet, the government really doesn't have any control over any of it. Like I told you before, it's an absolute fallacy. And if you haven't figured that out yet, you need to start looking into this stuff. You need to start seeing exactly what these guys are doing and look at the real change. Look at the extent from what change really is and what change really has happened for our country, because really nothing has equated itself over the last 8 years, with Mr. Bush. And going further back, you can see all of the wars, all of the deficits, all of the rising costs of everything. And guess what? These people who we call our elected officials, really don't have the ability for democracy. They really don't represent you as an individual anymore because they have no choice but to go along with the status quo of the way things are, and that's help out the big business. So there's got to be an awareness going on in this country. There's got to be an awareness, and there's got to be people pulling together to try to make this happen because it's not going to happen by itself. You've got to get involved. And you're listening to this bullcrap. I mean, how much people do we listen to? Whether you listen to Fox News, CNBC, what's that other channel, CNN? It doesn't really matter which cable news network you listen to or whatever regular station you listen to. It's all filled with this uncompiling amount of just total BS. And it's designed to create verbal diarrhea so that you get distracted every single day. If you continue to listen to this, you will be filled with so much diarrhea, you will not know what to do. There's nobody here really willing to work for you. There's nobody here to vote for. There's nobody here that is even worth your time. You want change in America? You want change around the world? Don't vote for this crap. Don't be part of this narrative anymore. It's not going to change. It's not going to change no matter what they say. That's another revolutionary thought. I want you to check back in again if you can. I have to keep checking at the mail. But if you want to check back in again, please go to www.rollmanrevolution.com or check out the YouTube channel. Find me on Twitter at Dave Rollman, David Rollman. At Dave Rollman on Twitter. Can't even get that stuff correctly. All right, well, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.